We have to remember everything.
Everything.
Lift your head, baby, don't be scared of the things that could go wrong along the way. You get by with a smile. You can win at it. Baby, you don't have to worry, 'cause there ain't no need to hurry. Come on and stand the destinies we bring. Closing all their doors, and they don't want you anymore. But I'm staying anyway. Girl, I'll stay through the bad times, even if I have to fetch you every day. Get by with a smile. You can never be too happy in this life. When everybody hates a happy ending story, it's no one love can make the world go round. Don't let it bring you down and turn your face into a clown. Get along with a little prayer and a song.
In a world where everybody hates a happy ending story, it's no wonder love can make the world go round. But don't let it bring you down. Turn your face into a frown. Get along with a little prayer and a song. Lift your head,
Baby, don't be scared of the things that could go wrong along the way. You can fly with a smile. Now it's time to kiss away those tears goodbye.
Eman! I miss you!
I missed you too, Joy. Ready ka na ba?
Wait lang eh, wala pa sila Anthony at Hector eh.
I'm here. Lagi naman ako nandito. Hindi mo lang nakikita.
Bihira naman. Hanggang ngayon ba, imo ka pa rin? Nasaan na nga ba si Anthony?
Ewan ko nga eh. Alam mo naman yun, ang bagal kumilos. Parang babae.
Anong kamo?
Tama na, huwag na kayo mag-away. Nandito na ako. At humanda na kayo. Dahil nga, lalarga na tayo.
Road trip? Overdrive?
You bet. Dala niyo ba yung mga magazine?
Maayo na tayo patungo sa Alapaka.
This is how I remember it. How I remember you.
Kamukha mo si Paraluman. Nung tayo ay bata pa. At ang galing-galing mong sumayaw. Mapabugi man o
cha-cha.
Ngunit ang paborito ay pagsayaw mo ng El Bimbo. Nakakainda, nakakaaliw, nakakatindig, balahibo. Kapag sa eskwela ay didiretso na sa'yo. Buong maghapon ay tinuturuan mo ako. Magkahawak ang ating kamay at walang kamalay-malay. At tinuruan mo ang puso ko ng ibig na tunay.
Naninigas ang aking katawan pag umikot na ang plangka, sabay sa kimbot ng bewang mo. Kiss na ko Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for our main cast of Ang Huling El Bimbo. Gina Magdanal and Reba Tedero as Hector, John Santos and Topper Fabregas as Anthony, O.J. Mariano and Bu Gabunada as Eman, Sheila Francisco as Tia Deli, J.B. Wilson as Chief Banlao, and Tanya Manalang as Joy. Of course, Ang Huling El Bimbo could not be possible without the creative inputs of my co-artistic director and First Lady of Philippine Theater. Please welcome Full House Theater Company's Mechu Lachenko Yulo.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming. We are so excited about this little project of ours. As you saw excerpts of the wonderful arrangement of Mike Solomon. Let me give you a little background about Ang Huling El Bimbo. This is actually the thought of turning it into a musical was actually the brainchild of Christine and Mark Manila. So when they actually proposed the idea, we knew that it would be something very, very special. So when finally it became a possibility and everything fell into place, we knew, well, Michael and I, and of course Christine and Mark, we knew that we had to assemble an amazing cast to give justice to the music that we were going to use. So we assembled Mike Solomon, who will be our musical director. Our set designer will be Gino Gonzalez. And making a comeback to do our lighting is Monino Duque. And our graphics will be by G.A. Palarme. And our costumes and styling will be by Marlon Rivera. Did I miss anyone? That's it. Conductor will be conducted by Rodel Colmenar, MPO. So with that alone, we knew that it's going to be an amazing collection of minds to make this wonderful musical come alive. And of course, at the helm of this entire project, we knew no other director would do justice to the telling of this story than the director we decided to give this project to. Please welcome Dexter Santos.
Good afternoon, everybody. We all know the songs that we just heard, no? So, like Ellie, Buddy, Marcus, and Raymond, actually they decided to create songs that are very, very significant in our everyday lives. The first time we fell in love, the first time we got hurt, right? Even the times that we're drinking with our barcadas or one-on-one emo talks with our best friend. So they had a song, it served as an original soundtrack of our lives. So it's such a fitting idea to come up with a musical that would encapsulate all of these beautiful stories of friendship, of love. Especially the songs are actually immortalized in our everyday lives. Resorts World Manila and Full House Theater Company, Ang Huling El Bimbo tells a story of friendship, a group of friends, right, to get back together after 20 years apart. They had personal challenges all along, and now they have to be able to face it and examine how they got together, how they became friends, how they bonded, and how they parted ways. Now they're given a chance to make things right. It's a new musical, and we're very, very excited about it because it's alive, it's original, it's Pinoy. And the whole beauty of it is that we continue to try and try until we saturate all the possibilities with every rehearsals, especially from pre-productions, working with everybody as well. So when rehearsals start, that will be an exciting way to come up and with a new musical, a musical that we hope to flesh out and devise a certain narrative, a new narrative based on these iconic songs. And of course, these are things that we're so excited about also, is that it is a plot that is driven by three-dimensional characters. And most of all, it's an original work that hopefully it may resonate our personal dreams, the journey that we get as we go along, and most of all, redemption. People have been asking me, what's your directorial attack? What's your directorial vision? I always tell them that I just know two things. First, that it's my lifelong dream to direct Eraserheads, the musical. I was teaching this in UP back in 2005. 2005, the finals of my student stage movement class is actually a movement piece, a 1-hour movement piece based on the music of this iconic 90s band. So it is finally happening. So I'm very, very happy from Swords World, Full House Theater Company, of course, Menchu and Michael, for the trust that they've given me. And number two, I think we're so familiar with that girl. That girl who resembles Paraluma. That girl who was what? Naging taghugas ng pinggan sa ermita. And supposedly, nasagasaan sa isang madilim na eskinita. How do we go there? What's gonna happen? Please come on July. Right? So please come on July and experience Resorts World and Full House Theater Company's Ang Huling El Bimbo. It's a world premiere, right? Together with this wonderful cast, together with this wonderful team, and see how we will collaborate in order to deliver that story through text, through music, through video, and through dance. So please, please come and join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dexter. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call back the cast of Ang Huling El Bimbo. Jim Magdanal, John Santos, OJ Mariano, Reb Atidero, Topper Fabregas, Huga Bonada, Sheila Francisco, Jamie Wilson, and Tanya Manala. To come back on stage, of course, we'd like to thank Team Manila for the specially designed Eraserhead shirts that our cast is wearing. And Ms. Caron Celis Peralta of Clap Moto Project for sponsoring more shirts to be given away later on.
Yeah.
I forgot to include, I'm so sorry, our absolutely fantastic scriptwriter who we must have driven crazy, Ding Dong Navenario. Please come.
Yeah, so we'd like to call up our creative team also, Mike Salomon, who is our musical director, to come up. Mike, and our writer, Ding Dong Navenario, and of course our director, Dexter Santos, and Miss Menchu Lachenko Yulo up there also. So I would just like to ask a couple of questions of our cast, just to start off, and then we'd like to find out if you have any questions for them as well. This is a general question for all. How do you feel about being casted in Ang Huling El Bimbo? And you might want to talk about your character and the character that you portray in the musical. Anybody? Go, Rep.
I wanted to take first dibs because when I heard this question, I was driving here this morning and I was listening to the music of Eraserheads, and I just feel so lucky to be here, honestly. Like, this is groundbreaking, this is new, it's a world premiere and all that, and it's just, this music is the soundtrack of a lot of Filipino people's lives, and yeah, so I just feel really lucky to be here. I'm gonna be playing young Hector, the Prince of Troy. No, the young Hector, the one of the three boys in college. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. So I'm just happy to be here.
Thanks.
How about you, Tanya? Being a central character to the show, what do you think about your...
I play Joy. I'm really excited. This is only my second Tagalog musical. And I'm looking forward to it. Kasi iba talaga pag Tagalog eh. Iba yung pag-express ng sarili mo. And I'm really excited for it. And I grew up listening to the songs of this band. And yun lang.
Yeah, they're easy to remember. These songs are so familiar somehow you've heard them all. Gian, what about you?
Actually, nararamdaman ko, naiindak ako, nakaliw. Stop reading the back of my shirt, man. No, but seriously also, yeah, I'm really feeling those things. And syempre, I feel very thankful and lucky to be part of this. Also because lumaki ako sa music ng Eraserheads. Pinapakinggan ko yung mga kanta nila habang ako I was studying how to play the guitar. Yung paano ba yung chords ng pare ko, paano ba yung chords ng magazine. Tapos parang yun yung nakaduktong yun sa lahat ng mga parang childhood memories ko na parang kasama ng barkada ko na nagbabasketball kami dati, nagbabike, sa village, yung parang ganon. And those are good times in my life. And those are also the times that were very, there were big moments like, siguro yung first time ako nagka-crush, yung ganyan. So it really brings so much good memories, which I know a lot of people, lahat ng mga Pinoy na kabatch ko at kung sino man din after or before, makaka-relate din sila sa ganun. Kasi very, yun eh.
Now, without giving away too much of the synopsis, what do you think our audiences can take away from our show, Ang Huling El Bimbo. John?
I feel like a lot of you have experienced reconnecting with school friends na 2 dekada nyo hindi nakita. Reunion, when you leave your 30s, when you're in your mid-40s, panahon talaga ng ang mga high school or college batch nyo silver. And then there is this basket of mixed feelings. Matatakot ba ako pumunta kasi baka ako lang ang hindi mayaman o baka ganyan. Pag ako nagpupunta, well, actually, ang yayaman nilang lahat, pero ako lang may abs. No, really. But seriously, I sometimes hear that this classmate is in an obituary. And it's that take home sana ng mga tao is, my goodness, life is so precious. Your vitamin C, your oxygen is pagkakaibigan and friendships. Sabi nga nila, friendships made in school, they're like families you created yourself. I've been experiencing that roller coaster, that magic of reconnecting with people you knew when you're a very different person. And you see them again, and they are parents, and they are separated, they are priests, they are your people who you could have turned to in one of those dark nights of the soul. But I think regret is sometimes wasteful. I think ang takeaway dyan, catch up and look for your friends and reconnect and make and remind yourself of what is truly important. At I think ang isa pang takeaway, pag alis nyo sabihin nyo, ang galing palang sumulat ng kanta ng Pinoy. At saka ang galing pala ng Pinoy storyteller.
Speaking of storytelling, I have a question for either Dexter or Mike. These songs are so popular, and they have a very strong recall to them. What can you say about the challenge of reorienting the music in aid of storytelling?
Let's start the music and Ding Dong will talk about the song.
The challenge there is very challenging. First of all. Yeah. Pero I've been doing this for 3 years or 4 years, so God bless me. Yun, usually naman I take energy from the scene. So kung ano yung binibigay ng scene, yun yung ibibigay ko din. So I'm not a slave of the original one. So we retell the story again in a different way, in an interesting way. Yes, Dexter?
Yes. I think that's, yeah. I think that's the operative word. We don't want to be slave to the lyrics. We don't want to be a slave to the songs because these songs have been, you've heard it from on the radio already, diba? Tapos, I think we have now an opportunity to translate it live sa theater into a Pinoy musical. So might as well grab that opportunity to retell new stories, create new contexts. Find new characters on how to sing it. Change the dynamics of it. I think that's the best thing about doing a musical based on the iconic band songs. Ding Dong?
That's right. The songs themselves have stories within them. So I think one of the challenges then is to bring all of these individual stories together, make one big cohesive story. And yun ang naging challenge for me, for us.
I think also siguro just sharing lang in terms of, what songs, but there are so many hits kasi. So I think it's not about the hits, but what does the story need in order to tell, what song we use in order to tell that story.
Yeah, so that forms part of the music selection is the narrative.
Yes. The narrative first before the songs. And I think we're unanimous with that. That's why we're so excited. So we can't say which songs are going to be there because it might not be there. Or sometimes, or it might, or just going to be. And again, as usual, it's a work in progress.
So, Ding Dong, without giving away too much of the synopsis again, what do you think is the socially relevant issues that are being brought up or talked about in our production?
Yeah, I think the songs lend themselves. They each tackle really unique, socially relevant issues like gender equality, living into economic pressures, and so on. And I think ang pinaka-backbone na ginamit natin is, like John said, yung reconnecting with people, asking them, actually, how are you? Instead of just looking at what's going on Facebook with them.
Dex, there are in our way of telling the story, there are two timelines. What were your challenges in telling both those timelines?
I think those two timelines, for example, in the 90s and the contemporary times, they happen simultaneously. So it's very, very important that the narrative of each timeline has to be very, very clear in terms also of character decisions, in terms of choices, in terms of conflicts. They have to meet, and most of all, it's very, very important that when they come together, we're able to deliver what we want to tell our audiences. I think that's the greatest challenge. Clarity.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to open the floor for anybody to ask questions of our cast and our production team. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
From CNN. Hello.
Hi.
I don't know how dumb this question will be, but I was just wondering if you guys, if the theater company got in touch with any of the E-heads and, you know, presented the story, and if you did, what were their thoughts about it?
Who would like to answer that question?
Christine.
I think the best person to answer that question for us would be Miss Christine Manalang, our from Ultimate, our executive producer.
No, actually, what we did, we dealt with the publisher. And I sent him a copy of the script because we have to tell them the number of songs that we'll be using for this show. And it's up to him for him to relay it to the members of the group. That's it.
And hopefully they come and watch the show.
Any more questions? You have a follow-up question? Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Ricky Brosas from Inquiry Television.
Hey, Ricky.
Kahit sino pwedeng sumagot. My question is, how would you reconcile with the millennials since 90s nga po yung banda, no? Paano po ninyo marireconcile para ma-encourage natin sila na panoorin ang inyong pong musical? Thank you.
Just like what I told earlier, their songs are timeless, really timeless. And just like based on our performance, I mean, it didn't sound like the ones that you hear on your tapes or whatever. So I think it is still going back to the story. It's still going back to the story, how they're going to be sung by the characters, and how the message of the song will come out. If you don't have to be an E-Heads fan in order to, if you are a theater goer, if you love the theater, if you love stories, if you love characters who you can reconnect and whom you can be familiar with, please come to the theater, come to Huling El Bimbo, because we're going to give you, hopefully we'll give you a musical that will resonate our issues and our concerns, especially most of these times. So that's it. Yes.
Also, the thrust of the story, without again giving away too much, is universal. You will be able to relate to each character because we take the songs and we break them and we make it part of the narrative, and it revolves around very real people with very real issues. So it's nothing that any age from the 90s to now will be able to relate to one of the characters that you will see on stage.
I think the friendship itself is universal. That sort of friendship, the bond that, like John Santos said, no, about friends. And I think like millennials are all about connection. I was just talking to a millennial earlier, and basically they do seek that sort of connection. And I think, and they love nostalgia. They're really like suckers for nostalgia. And I think the 90s is like the best decade ever. And it's super nostalgic. Yeah, I love the 90s. And we were just talking about how during the 90s, to connect with someone, you actually had to meet them and connect with them. And I think
that's a takeaway that they can get from this, and I think they'll just love that sort of concept as well. Like, oh my god, I can meet someone away from my computer. Yeah, I can actually make friends.
And it's also a nice parallelism to live theater itself. Like, you know, you can watch movies and stuff like that, but there's something about a live performance and being, you know, actually being there. And you know, it's friendship, it's music, so yeah, what can go wrong, right?
So, you know, with the music of the E-Heads, and then the general themes of love and friendship, and you know, it's very accessible to our audiences, millennial or otherwise. Anybody else have another question?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Arabel Jimenez from Beautiful Life. We talk about the songs here. Are we expecting any dance numbers, like a triple threat component?
Yes.
I'm in it, so it's
Of course. Topper is my associate choreographer.
Si Topper po, quadruple threat yan.
Okay, that's good.
Just a threat.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course there will be. It's gonna be.
Dexter Santos pa?
Yes, absolutely. Well, Dexter is also our choreographer, and so you can be sure that there will be
It's
Dexter
not a
pa?
Dexter Santos
amazing
musical
choreo.
if there's no choreo.
Si Dexter kahit straight name, may
How can you
choreo.
not dance tindahan ni Aling Nen? I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So,
We have another question over here.
Hi, I'm Amy Perez from Inquirer. How did you choose the title song? And for the director, this musical would be very personal for hardcore fans. How do you intend to satisfy them?
The title was actually, Christine, was a given, right? Am I right? The title was a given. Yeah, we had to ask for it, permission for it. So that was a given in terms of when we tried to acquire the rights to stage it. So that was a given. It was, we paid for that particular title. How to satisfy?
I think it's not satisfying the fans, but it's satisfying the story. I think that's very, very important. I'm an E-Heads fan, so I think
Satisfying the soul.
So far, I love what I'm doing, and I hope when we start rehearsals, I will love it some more. Yes. I think that's. I mean, you have to satisfy the story first, just like any other musical, just like any other play. What does the material want to say? What does it want? What do you want to give your audience? And I think that's it. And the bonus, it's just when you satisfy the E-Heads fans, I think that's just a cherry on top. So I think it's always the story. What do you want to give your audience? The journey that you want to give.
Do we have any more questions? Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Trixie from Pinoy Screen and Stage, and I've watched many of Dexter Santos' works. Over the years. So my first question is for both Reb and Dexter. Because if I got it correctly, kayo pa lang yung nagkatrabaho multiple times. So how did the dynamic change between director and actor for this compared to sa mga previous productions?
Well, I first worked with Sir Dex in 2011 in the UP in Rizal X, and I can honestly say that that's one of the reasons na nawala yung hiya ko sa katawan. All of it. It's just because his process really helps you hash out everything that you're supposed to. And then his process is he lets you do that, and then he'll filter it in a way that it translates well with the story. Same with Horse and His Boy. When we did that, I remember it was tiring, but it was the best kind of tiring. Like it's really just the language of the horses, the language of the movement, everything like that. So I have always owed that part of my process, I guess, in my head, like to just go for it, no holds barred, and then they'll just edit. I think I owe that to him, and I am just lucky enough to be working with him again. So yeah.
For Jamie Wilson, you jumped from directing Arsenic and Old Lace to being an actor naman here. So, paano handle yung shift?
Well, I have a lot less responsibility as an actor. for one thing. I'm not in charge of anything except for perhaps contributing to the story in my own small way. But I think no matter what job you work in a theater, whether it be selling programs or being an actor or director or a lighting designer, we're all here to tell the story. And you tell your story as your own function. So it's quite, I'm so excited to work on this story because I'm a fan of both the E-Heads and of Dexter. So this is like a double whammy for me.
My last question, hopefully everyone can answer, pero kasi masyadong so, kasi sila yung gusto sumagot. Ano yung paborito niyong E-Head song and why?
Ako, when I heard Toyang before, tapos it starts and ends, if I'm not mistaken, with too young. They try to tell us we're too young. It becomes Toyang. Being a fan of cool writers, being an admirer of good writing and writing. Wow, what were they? How happy were they when they were writing it? How playful naman and parang effortless. And then this becomes a platinum hit. It's so nice. Yung Toyang for me was very playful, very positive. Actually, tinitirahan ko po ngayon, maliit lamang, pero malinis ito, pati na sa kusina. Kaya nakaka-relate po ako doon, yung aking apartment, parang bahay ni Aling Toyang. Lastly, tapos ang end, we were not too young at all. Namimiss ko na rin kung ma-classify as too young. Actually, inabutan ko po yung totoong El Bimbo na kanta. Toyang is really a favorite.
Okay, I suppose for me it's a toss-up between Parigo and With a Smile. With a Smile, it just lifts you up when you listen to it. But Parigo it's just the most. It captures what it's like to be broken-hearted really, really well, and so yeah, that's why. Yeah, Parigo.
I'd just like to add one thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because Parigo is like the soundtrack of high school boys. I think yun eh. It's actually one of the first songs na natutunan ng ako, I came from an all-boys school. So yun yung unang song na naaral mo sa gitara. And it's something that's very cathartic. It's just a release for high school boys back then. Hindi naman sobrang matagal na. Back then. It was a nice release for us to sing that song every time. And it's just a pleasure to do.
I guess, ang dami kong favorite songs from them. But, triple, like, the toss-up between, like, Parico, Magazine, tsaka Ligaya. Kasi, Parico, kinanta ko yun ng grade school sa harap ng parents ko. Tapos, medyo nakakaya kasi nagmumura kami with my grade school classmates. Ligaya, kasi, it's just a nice, lovely song na parang you would think of singing this to someone you love. And With a Smile, kasi it's something that brings you to smile.
Ako po, pare ko, pero recently lang kasi yun lang naging bitter. Joke! Hindi, joke lang po.
Can you elaborate?
Hindi na po bitter.
And on that note, thank you.
Yeah, I like Parico because it's such a fun song. And it's so real. I mean, alam mo yun, meron pa nga version nun na explicit eh. And that one ends Polario. Kasi, that's, I just wanna take a break every day because of everyday stress. And that's how I feel sometimes.
Ako hindi ko kinalakihan ang Eraserheads. Hindi ko kinalakihan. Dinaanan ko. And ang pinakagusto ko talaga yung With a Smile. Kaya nung narinig ko yung rearrangement ni Mike, naluha talaga ako. I think that, yes, with the new arrangements also of the Eraserheads and with, a lot of respect for the music, but the enhancement and the lending to the narrative will just give new life to the songs of the Eraserheads. It's just another, isa pa. Kasi they've had their time, but eto pa, when you hear the fantastic arrangements of Mike Solomon.
Gusto mag-dinner.
Hindi tapo yun.
also I've been debating because I like a lot of the songs of Erase Your Heads for different reasons. Well, one is, for example, Poor Man's Grave. Gusto ko yun kasi marami nakaka-relate dun at saka, well, ako nakaka-relate talaga din ako dun sa kanta na yun. Medyo mabigat yung meaning nun, but I think a lot of people can relate to it, especially the Filipino people. Kaya rin siguro nasulat yung kanta na yun. But also, another song, uplifting, syempre, is Alapaap. Mayroon yung malalalim na meaning, meron din yung magagaang din na meaning like Alapaap. Kasi naalala ko yung concert dati nung E-Heads dun sa Mall of Asia. Nung tinugtog na yung Alapaap, yung lahat ng tao sumasayot. Talagang kumakanta lahat sila, tumihiyaw. At parang, those are good memories. And that's what we want to also share here. Parang to move people with the stories of the songs in a personal level, just like how I was moved from then when I was in grade school until now that I'm a father. So, yeah.
I'm like super baduy. I like El Bimbo. Like super. I heard the first few chords. It's like, oh, I'm done. I'm there. And that's my favorite, drunk karaoke song. Right? It's the best. It's really the best.
Bye. Parang you had me at kamukha mo si Parel.
Dexter ikaw, yung favorite song mo daw.
Favorite din ni Gian yun sa kami.
Right now, since we're working in the musical, everything's my favorite. So serious, no showbiz answer because you have to love every bit of it or else, wala. The numbers will suffer. Yeah, so you have to be able to be in love with every song.
Okay, another question?
Hi guys, congratulations. Mars from your happy camper. Tanong ko lang for the millennials and the Gen Xers or Gen Yers of the troop. Would you like, for the Gen Yers, would you like to be living in the now? And for the millennials, would you be living in the 90s or early 80s?
Well, as a millennial.
Yes!
Sorry.
I would live in the 90s, but I'll bring Google with me. That's exactly what I would do. That is it. Yeah.
Same. I would do that. And actually, I was the one Topper was talking about kanina. So I was asking him about everything with the 90s and parang hearing about all of the things that they had before, it felt so simple and carefree and parang that's something that's missing with life now. Parang it's too fast-paced. You're so busy, you don't even have time to see your friends. And parang before, for the 90s era, everybody was bonded with the same things. They would listen to the same music, they would watch the same movies, they would line up, and they would actually make time to see their friends. So I think that's something that's missing now, that I would like to bring here. Yeah.
Ako naman, minsan, well, I'm from the 1890s. I really make a very big deal of college friendships. Part of me will say, babalikan ko yun, pero kung babalikan ko yun, knowing only what I knew then, that may mga ayaw akong balikang, kasi masyado na akong masayang na-surpass ko, na dark moments of the soul. If I could go back then with what I know now, but we all know that does not always work that way. So the thing is to move. I love of late, especially my character likes to breathe in the now. And mahalaga sa akin ang now, keeping the lessons of that. Oh, by the way, I'm so happy na ang bahagi kasi ng pagkakabuo dito, we're in a series of readings with different combinations, with different evolutions of the story. The vision was solid ever since, but I was so happy that this character, Anthony, is in the hands of two actors. Si Topper na actor and director. So he's seeing it with the director's eye and a heart. And
choreographer.
So parang may dalawang writer at may dalawang director yung character na magpapalapot at mag-evolve. Kasi ang pagkakaintindi ko, when they were bringing this up to me, parang Michael he had two words for me. Work in progress. 3 words. Hindi di ba
Working progress.
Grammatically, working progress is correct. So, excited kung saan papupunta all the way to July 19 ng gabing-gabi. Yung mapapanood nyo sa July 20 na Anthony ay somebody I would really, really like to consider a very, very special part of my heart.
Okay, I have a quick question from our Facebook friends. The others have been answered, but this one has not yet. If this one's from Jay, is the musical gonna make us laugh hard, or is it going to be a tear-jerking show? Excited na po ako. So Dexter, you might want to.
It's just like all of the songs. It made us laugh, it made us cry, and it's gonna be a roller coaster, and that's why you have to watch it because it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions. Right, so,
Okay, and now I have another question for you here.
Yeah, my name is Mon Chenares, and I'm from Monster Chronicles. I just want to congratulate all of you. That's an excellent cast right there. Right? And we're expecting a real good show on July. And I can see faces, familiar faces from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Gian, Rep, and Menchu. Okay, but my question number one is for Sheila, because Sheila is like family to me. We all grew up together, and I really follow her all her shows and performances. Sheila, what is your character here, and what is the difference between doing Bali High, doing the Sound of Music? Okay.
I played Tia Deli. I played Tia and the family of Tanya, who is really like a pamangkin to me. I know her when she was really tiny.
Still tiny.
Tinier. What's the difference? Big difference ito. First of all, I'm working with Dexter. You know him?
Of course.
This man. I've always wanted to work with him, so this is really a treat for me. And also, this is my first Tagalog in such a long time. My last one was in Tanghalan, Filipino, no? And been wanting to dig deep into something new as well. And this is new. It's a new musical, so the journey that each of us will be taking will be, I think, not just a learning experience, but even for each of us, knowing our characters, finding out our backgrounds and all that. It's wonderful. I mean, I can't compare it to Bali High or South Pacific. This is an entirely new experience, and I think it's going to be an incredible one. We're all really excited about this. I shared it with Menchu na naririnig ko pa lang ang umpisa ng El Bimbo, kinikilabutan na ako. And there will be a lot of surprises in the story, and it's just going to be great. So you have to watch it. You really have to watch it.
We'll all be there.
The entire Renates family, please.
Follow-up question. Speaking about first, who of you are first in the musical, and who are you? Which of you are first Tagalog musical?
This is my first time with Resorts World. It's also my first Tagalog musical, and I think apart from Labfest, this is the first time I've ever originated a character. Like a character that's never existed before until now. So, yeah. It's like Virgin. Woo! Not too much.
Virgin.
Ano ba the character that existed?
Okay, now before we go on to our next portion, I have last two questions from our friends here.
Hi guys, I'm usually representing pep.ph. This is for one question. This is for Direct Dexter. Is there a need for you to lyrically update some of the songs? Like Torpedo, yung deeper doon, gagawing iPhone, or sa magazine, nakita kita sa some online site or stuff like that.
I think what we're I'm not naman I'm very, very happy. And sige lang nga proud because we're not gonna change any lyrics from the existing Eraserhead songs. So, that's it.
Pa-mention na rin ng some of the songs that...
we're doing With a Smile, we're doing Alabaat, of course, El Bimbo, we're doing Spolarium, we're doing Torpedo, we're doing Parico, we're doing Overdrive, Poor Man's Grave, that's Overdrive, ano ba? Basta around 40, am I right? 40, around more or less, 35 to 40 songs.
This will be an 8-hour musical.
For day one.
But like we said, it's a work in progress. So
Wait, but just to elaborate, we are using as much of the music as possible, but not necessarily in its entirety. So yeah, so in other words, we're using the music as narrative. So it's not a sing sing sing, talk talk talk, sing sing sing, talk talk talk. So it now becomes integrated into the storytelling. So whether or not we have 30 songs or 20 songs or 40 songs, not all songs will be in its entirety. That is the goal. Thank you.
And we have a final question.
Short lang na answers from Ding Dong and Mike. Ding Dong, suki ka ng Virgin Love Fest. And Mike, sobrang successful yung Rock of Ages, di ba? So, can you what's the difference between this musical and what you used to work on before? Ding Dong and Mike.
Sige. Sige. Sagutin natin. First of all, it's a full-length play. It's my first time actually. For Lagfest, it's always been one-act play. You got 2, 3, 4 characters, one spot. Ngayon, it's one full-length play for me, and of course, integrating the songs into the story. Medyo mahirap talaga siya. So it's a big challenge, and it's also very, very collaborative. So all the inputs from the actors to the directors, especially Dexter and musical director Mike, it all comes in, and it's a nice challenge compared to the Lagfest, for example.
This is my first time in Resorts World Manila. And it's my first time to write music for a live performance. It's gonna be a live band. So it's hello. It's a challenge for me kasi the past musicals na ginawa ko, it's all canned music. It's all playback, but I make sure it sounds live. Yun. Tapos ito, I'm writing music for the MPO. So God save me because I have no theory. I have no musical training whatsoever. I don't even know the chords I'm playing. So, ayun. I don't know why I'm here.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. Working. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite you. Guys, please stay on stage. I'd like to invite you to play a game with us.
It's entitled Work in Progress.
Okay, so we will have one member of the cast come up and sing a portion of the song, and then one of you, chosen by the cast member, will either try to finish the song, singing it, or at the very least, name that title. Okay, so sino yung una natin? Who is gonna be first?
OJ is first.
Me?
Okay, OJ, ano yung umpisa? What song are you gonna challenge our audience with?
Do I have to stand? Yes. At ngayon, di pa rin alam kung ba't tayo nandito.
Raise your hand if you know the answer.
Pwede bang itigil mo na ang pag-ikot ng mundo, ang pag-ikot ng mundo, Hindi pa ako titigil hanggang wala akong sumasagot. Ikot ng mundo.
Yun. And the answer is...
Spolario.
Yeah. Yay! Spolario, the winner. For those who win, please claim your prize over the registration table. Okay.
You just won the Spolario.
Yes. Second. Tanya.
Fill in the blanks na lang yung akin.
Okay.
Masakit man isipin, kailangan tanggapin.
Ako ba yung mag-fill?
Kung kailan ka naging seryoso, tsaka kanya.
And you choose.
Bakit lahat?
Our winner is... Who raised your hand first? Okay, Mars. Claim your prize at the counter. All right. Third, we have Reb. Okay.
Okay.
Raise your hand and Reb will choose.
Yeah, I'll choose. Okay. How does I go? Ilang awit pa ba ang aawitin o giliw ko? Ilang ulit pa ba ang ulitin o giliw ko? 3 oras na akong nagpapakyut sa'yo at kumakanta pero wala pa rin sumasagot. Di mo lang napapansin ang bagong t-shirt ko. Who can sing the chorus of this song? Sagutin mo lang ako. Aking sintay walang humpay. Tatanghali sa you win the prize.
Please claim your prize at the registration counter. The last one would be
Gian.
Ito maraming lyrics to, maraming lyrics ha. Pakinggan nyo siya.
Gian, maraming lyrics.
Maraming lyrics to. Working progress na. Ito yung ginantang, ito yung inaral ko eh. Pa 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 pa. Pa 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 pa. You know me.
Ang title niya ay Papa.
Okay, fantastic. All right, now we have our second game. This is really like a bring me game. If you have anything that is from the 90s, if you have anything that is from the 90s on your person, please bring it up on stage. Bring it up. If you have it, bring it up.
Wow!
Asan yung lapis? Asan yung lapis? Please come up on stage.
Cassette ba yan? Cassette?
Please come up. Please come up.
What is it?
Does anybody else have anything from the 90s? Please come up. Please come up.
Choker.
Okay. Anybody else? Going. No other thing from the 90s? Okay. So can you please tell us what you got with you, sir?
Oh, this is a choker from the 90s.
Okay, a 90s choker. Everybody take a look at that, right? Okay, and what have you brought with you, sir?
The first tape of Eraserheads.
The first tape of Eraserheads.
Yan yung pag nire-rewind, ball pen.
Correct!
Tsaka pag kinukue, daliri.
And what have you brought?
A cassette recorder.
A 90s cassette recorder.
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to choose, you are going to choose which one by the volume of your applause. First item. Okay, second item. Third item. Okay, we very clear our winner is the second item, which is the original cassette. Please claim your prize at the registration table.
First album pa yan, no? Yung hawak niya.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our press con for today. Thank you for being with us. Don't forget, July 20 at the Newport Performing Arts Theater, our brand new musical, Ang Huling El Bimbo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our cast, and we wish to see you at the theater lobby. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.